Kind of thing we need more of, more dialogue, you know. Then there were some naysayers who maybe didn't watch the whole episode and just saw, oh, it's Trump supporters and immigrants and there's something dramatic happening here, and they would comment, you know, we don't need any more of this, you know. But it was clear they didn't watch it. So I think there's just a great opportunity for more episodes like this with different topics and all kinds of stuff so that we can continue the dialogue.
いろんなわびっくりこんなこと知らなかったわっていうような人もあったんですけど、実際に最初にちゃんと全部見てくれないでトランプ支持者とトランプのまたこの喧嘩というか対立を煽ってるようなもんだろうと思って、そういう批判的なコメントもありましたけれども、実際に最初のトピックスがアメリカの国のために、ね、死ねますかっていうタイトルで、こんなことがあったんだねって、こんな風にみんな思ってるんだね、知らなかったわとかで、そういうあと、登録しないとね、移民はすぐ、ね、強制送還されるじゃないけれどもかもしれないとかっていうことを90何%の人は知らなかったと、っていうような知らせてくれてありがとうというようなことも出ましたし。
このビハインドグラスが分断から融和に一役買うことができましたか？
So you think that you can contribute the society that from divided society to more like going back to where it should be?
I think a series like Behind the Glass has potential to fundamentally shift the divisiveness in the country. Absolutely. I think more and more topics that we talk about where we really genuinely understand and listen to each other first, it opens the doors where we can kind of come together as a nation and as a world.
そうですね。これまですごくやっぱり選挙戦があってどんどんアメリカがこれまでにないほど分断してしまったんですけども、こうやっていろんなトピックスを相反するグループが話して本当に本音を語っていくことによって、また融和の道に行けると思いますし、そういうことができるっていう、そのドアをこう開けて、希望のドアを開けていったっていうようなそんなことが感じられます。
And we're doing this, we're being very careful as we shoot this series. I mean, it takes a particular skill to interview people in such a way and facilitate dialogue in a very specific way that allows people to hear each other and come together. It's not a standard interview. So that's where I get to use some of the skills I've been doing now for about 17 years. And that's what really makes the difference. I'd love to do it for topics, you know, around the world. I mean, honestly, I mean, you can envision lots of different things having discussions in this way.
これは私がファシリテーターとしてみんなに話を聞いてるんですけども、実際にそのただインタビューっていうかあなたはどう思うのとかっていうインタビューっていうことではなくて、やはり非常に質問の仕方とかも非常に注意して、しっかりとその人の本音が引き出せるようなことを、これはずっと自分がプロフェッショナルとして自分がやってきた仕事の延長だと思うんですけども、そういう人の意見を、本音を聞き出すということをやることによって、これは別にアメリカだけじゃなくて世界のいろんなトピックスを時事問題とかそういうことにもやってまたできるかなというふうに思っています。そういうことができたらいいなとも思っていますし。
で、これを作るにあたってビルさんにはエリザベスさんから声かけた。なぜビルさんプロデューサー
？When you decided to produce this show, you just called the bill, and why you called it the bill to produce the help?
Well, okay, so Bill was a small part of the show. I called Bill because Bill is really good at story. And I didn't know how things were going to go on the day of shooting. And so Bill was behind the glass with the people watching the front room. And he would, think about what might be the story to tell. that day. What ended up happening with Bill was very different than I planned. So I thought Bill would tell me the stories to edit. What ended up happening is there was such change in the people that became the story. Bill is from a traditional reality TV land, and so he was in the back room asking me to be more dramatic. He wanted me to incite arguments, and he thought that would be the most interesting. He talked a lot about that in his interview. I refused to do that because that wasn't the vision of the project. So when I went in the front room, I actually did the opposite. I said, well, what did you hear that was the same? How are we going to come together on this? Can we create a solution that works for everyone? And I personally believe that's the thing you haven't seen yet on TV. And so it's also in my heart what I thought was important to do. So I stuck with that. I stuck with my vision. I actually didn't do what Bill asked me to do, yet we're still friends. And I think it turned out great. I think it turned out more unique than other things, you know.
そうですね、これを作るときに、ビルはリアリティショーの、プロデューサーなので、私がそのやっぱり語り部としてストーリーの構成がうまくいかなかったら困るから、ね、彼のエキスパートというか、専門家ですから借りて手助けをしてもらおうと思って、彼に来てもらったんですけれども、実際にやはり本当に彼はもうリアリティショーの、本当にリアリティ番組の、本当にプロデューサーなので、もっとドラマチックに発問このバックルームの方でね、こっちのグラスのこっち側でこういう質問した方がいいとかって、彼女にこう言うわけなんですけど、指示するんだけど、結局私はそれだと本当に本音が聞けないと思って、彼が言ったこと指示には実は従わなかったんですよ。多分反対のことしたと思うんですね。でもそれで本当にいい答えがみんなの本音が聞けたので非常に良かったと思う。そうやって無視しちゃったんですけど、ビルとはいい仲良しですよ。
ちなみにこのビハインドグラスはトランプ見たんですか？
Do you think Mr. Trump watched your show?
That's a great question. I don't know if Donald Trump, or I guess I should say President Trump now, has watched Behind the Glass. I don't know if President Trump has watched Behind the Glass, but I think he will at some point. I may even leak it to him. I think there's potential that he may want me to do some of this work for him, to be honest, once he sees it. Because he's really interested in what people really think, you know. And there could be a service there where, you know, I put people in front of the glass and we help learn more about the most important issues, you know, in the U.S. and the world. And that helps inform him, you know, what the country is really thinking, what the world is really thinking. Or, you know, people who have positions on policy, you know, to have some of that, you know, in front of the glass, really talked about at a length that they don't normally talk to each other with. So I haven't personally given it to him. I know his son, Donald Jr., has seen it, and my guess is he may forward it, but we'll see. We'll see.
いや、本当に大統領がね、大統領って言った方がいいんですね。大統領が見たかどうかっていうのはちょっとわからないんですけども、実際に見てくれたらいいなとも思いますし、多分もしかしたらそれをもし見てたら彼がもしかして私にこういうことやってくれよっていうふうに言ってくれるんじゃないかなと期待してますし、言ってますとやっぱりトランプはすごいやっぱりみんながどう思ってるかってことに非常に関心があるので、いいとか悪いとかは別にして、なのできっとこういうことに非常に関心があると思います。でトランプの息子さんは見てるんですね。だからもしかしたらお父さんにもそれをリンクを送ったかもしれないし、でそうしたらいいですよね。
次はじゃあどんなリアリティショーを作りたいですか？
So what's your next reality show?
I would love to do more episodes of Behind the Glass. Really, that's my vision. I want to talk about important social issues of our time. in a really provocative, interesting way that's smart, that allows people to hear each other, and that can maybe make a difference in the media space. I think it's something that hasn't been done before, and it's something that is really in my heart to do with the skill level that I have throughout the years. So that's really what's next, is just more of these, yeah.
やはりビハインドグラスのもっと今非常に大事だと思われるトピックスがいっぱいあるので、そういうものをまた取り上げてこのシリーズのどんどん続けていきたいというふうに思っています。
具体的なテーマなんか考えて。
Can you tell me just an example of what kind of topics that you would like?
Oh, gosh, there's so many topics I'd love to cover. I mean, if we stick with the current landscape of Donald Trump, there's, 50 topics there. I mean, it could be anything from healthcare to, the women who felt that he, was sexually inappropriate with him in front of the glass. I mean, it could be, a wide range of things. But I don't necessarily want to focus just on him or just on politics. One of my passions is women in the workforce, and I'm one, and there's this tension now. So the more women are in the workforce, the more we are in our masculine modes, if you will. And so there's this theory that when we come home, we're in our masculine and then the men are in their masculine, and it's depolarizing our relationships. And so there's a lot of people getting divorced and all of that stuff. I did pre-interviews for stay-at-home dads. That's one of the kind of social topics that's happening in the US, where men are actually taking care of the kids at home and the women are working. And it was fascinating as I had the men in front of the glass, because they started talking about what it means to be a man and how they don't feel as much like a man anymore. And the spouses were behind the glass listening. And then we talked to the wives, and then they opened up about things like their sex life or whatever it was that had changed because of this dynamic. And it started a conversation that I believe is really important. So it's a wide range of topics.
いやトランプだけに限ったらもう50ぐらいトピックスがあると思うんですよね。例えばヘルスケアにしても、女性蔑視とか、女性と労働力とか、あるんですけど、とかあと政治だけと政治とかだけに限らずいろんな社会の時事問題とか社会ネタをやっていきたいと。であと一つやったのが奥さんが労働力として働き社会に出て働き旦那さんが子供を育てて家庭でっていうようなカップルがいて、その人たちにも話を聞いてビハインドグラスに入ってもらって話をお互いのどういうのを持ってるかとか、男の人がなんか自分がの男らしさとかがなんか失ってしまったような気がするとかちょっとそういう葛藤があるとかね、そんな話をしてくれたりとかして、そんなこともやっぱり女性の問題、私も女性ですから女性問題とかは非常に関心のある部分です。
はい、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you good on the first shots where we talk?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
It was
good? Okay.
only blimp, and then I think we are good.
Okay, great.
Yeah.